What's going on, guys? Shredder, issue 6. I've not made it any kind of a secret that I am not a fan of this series so far. Now, issue 5 was the best so far. I think I gave it about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. So, not spectacular. It was just about mid or maybe slightly above mid. There were things in it that I genuinely liked. Shredder acting like Shredder. I'm like, oh, hey, there's that guy that I recognize. It's good to see him. Also, Avon did not irritate me as much as normal. She wasn't just hearing Shredder's commands and just off doing her own thing, and things just worked out for her. There was none of that. So I was like, oh, hey, this is nice. There were still plenty of tisms throughout that, so that's why I still had to knock it down. But I was like, oh, okay, we're getting somewhere. Now, just to kind of catch us up a little bit, I'm going to be fairly vague. And I mean, I have 5 other videos on this series, so if you need a little bit more clarity on something, be sure to check those out. But we have the Mourner, and she is like a new villain type character, or at least an antagonistic force to Shredder. She wants to basically blow up New York and also become a vessel for Kinsun to come back to life, more or less. For those who don't know, she was a goddess from the 2011 run who was always at Shredder's side, and the two seem to be in love with one another. Now, apparently she died. I did not get to that part yet in the 2011 run. I'm still making my way through it. But yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, she died. There was a thing that happened. It's still vague, so I have no idea when and where she died, but at some point, yeah. She, along with some of the other gods that are in the world, die. So, but that's what we're doing. Shredder's there with Agent Avon from Darkwater. They're there to stop her. She set up shop at the Darkwater building. That's where she's got her bomb set up, and all of her little minions, the foot mystics or whatever they're called, they're all right there, and so that's where we're going from here. So we're on Brokenhearted Beast. This is chapter 6. Writer is Dan Waters, and our artist is Michelle Bandini. Now, right off the bat, we see Avon has been taken prisoner, and they got her wrapped like in some sort of binding here. It's not like handcuffs, but it's like either zip ties or rope or something. But her hands are bound, and we see that everybody's been taken hostage. Now, right off the bat, I kind of felt that was already out of character, because anytime we've seen the Foot Mystics or the Mourners group, they kill basically everybody. We saw that one monk who had a hole in his chest. He survived, but I don't think he could be killed ordinarily, or they just left him alive because that was more painful. I mean, either way, they typically just kill everybody in their path. And so I'm just like, okay, that's a little odd. I wonder if there's a reason for that. And it also goes into some of my gripes towards Avon. So, but yeah, we see that the Darkwater building, it's glowing pink over here. And we see Mourners on top of the building. And she is happy that Shredder has finally shown up. And right now, I'm just going to say that this is a huge nitpick, but we have weird framing on a lot of this stuff. So, like, I guess this is a panel, and then over here, we split this whole picture into 2 panels, and it's just like, man, this comes off as like there's some sort of panel quota that needs to be done, and we're just throwing random panels in there for no reason. I don't find it very creative. I just think it's very off-putting. Again, it's a nitpick, but it is just like not very pleasing to look at. Like, none of this works for me. But yeah, she's happy to see Shredder, and it's like, oh, I didn't think you would show. You know, I'm so happy you made it, and I think you'll be rather pleased as well. For I am bringing back your loved Kinsun, and I will be her vessel essentially. And here we have the bomb that's getting ready to blow up. And Shredder's like, stupid child. and he's getting ready to slash at her, but as his blades get close, there's like some sort of an invisible barrier that stops it, and then bends his blades back. I kind of like the little effect that it has there. It's, you know, again, where I've been nitpicking, I'd call that more of a neat pick. I think it's kind of cool. And then, yeah, he blows back, and then we see Mjolnir transform into Kinsun. And Kinsun now calls out to Shredder, and Shredder, for the moment, has a hard time believing it. And what Kinsun says is, like, I am not your, I'm not the Kinsun you knew. I am a different Kinsun, but I still more or less have the same memories. And so what I kind of interpreted that as is like in Lord of the Rings, where Gandalf the Grey dies, he comes back as Gandalf the White. They are still the same in a sense, but also different. And that's kind of how I equated this. It's like, yes, this is the same Kinsun, but also different. She still has a lot of the same memories and knowledge of certain individuals, in this case Shredder, but is still different. And ultimately her goal is to basically wipe out everybody, at least in New York, if not the entire world. She promises to give Shredder his godlike powers that she once promised him, and all that she wants is for him to be at her side. And Shredder's like, nah, fuck you, bitch, I ain't gonna do that stuff. And so Kinsun is not exactly taking the rejection very good. So she shoves him and he flies back. Meanwhile, the Foot Mystics or whatever, they come out, and you see right here that they are clearly outnumbering him. There's a lot of blades. Now, last I knew, Shredder only has 2 arms, 2 legs in which to do any kind of blocking. So that's 4 appendages to do a whole lot of blocking. There's a lot of blades here, and Shredder does survive this ordeal. I don't know why not everybody is just going shwing and killing him. Just boom, done. But I mean, yeah, he gets mobbed over pretty good. But then, like I said, his plot armor kicks in, and he starts hacking and slashing. And I do enjoy this bit quite a bit, despite the huge plot armor flaw. But we're seeing Shredder just hack and slash everybody. I would have appreciated this more had he just simply been able to like counter and kind of control the fight rather than being dogpiled on, because then I wouldn't be having such an issue, right? It would have been nice where he were to like take out a guy, move around a little bit, and then take out some more and stuff like that. And then we see some bullet fire because, as Shredder is explaining, it was a long journey from Japan to New York, and apparently he used that time to teach Avon how to break free of handcuffs. And I mean, they do use the word handcuffs, and nobody's in handcuffs, but whatever, nitpick. And how to get past like locked doors. So how to get through locked doors and out of their restraints. And again, I'm going to kind of nitpick something here. What the fuck is this gun? So it's like got a pistol back and kind of an AR build up here, and I'm just like, I am not familiar with this firearm at all. I'm pretty sure that this thing does not exist, and to me kind of looks more like AI slop. Like if, and I'm not saying that this was done with AI. What I'm saying is somebody could have been like, hey, whatever AI tool, draw me a picture of a rifle. And this is what the artist is basing it off of, rather than just going through actual pictures that we're trying to use. Because I have no idea what's going on here. I'm not sure if up here, if this is supposed to be a scope or a flashlight, because it could honestly go either way. This back, there's this little grip texture. Now you see that on most pistols to help rack the slide a little easier. Rather than, this looks to be more of like a AR platform, and I don't see a charging handle of any kind. So even if we were to say, okay, no, it's more based off of an AK, I should still see some sort of charging handle. I don't see that. I don't see like a way to eject the spent shell, nothing like that. So just like I point out certain fun things like with Journeys, I was pointing out all the fun things that I saw with the car build and all the attention to detail. As a neat pick, I'm going to nitpick this, and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck kind of gun this is. I wish we would have done a better job, and also trigger disciplines. Fucking god awful. You got your finger right on the trigger. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So not my favorite look here, and I honestly don't feel like our artist is very confident drawing firearms because all of these are, like, all these blasts are hiding all the guns. Except for this one, it looked like it was an Uzi hanging out in the back. You just see kind of a top profile of it, and I believe we were going for an Uzi design. But otherwise, yeah, the guns are all... That's a very vague, crude drawing right there. And I don't mean that to shit on Michelle at all. I'm just saying, like, we're not seeing a whole lot here. All the other weapons are hidden. And then this just does not look very good as far as firearms. Very nitpicky shit. But I do want to just kind of make mention of that because I like guns. And when I see that, I'm just like, what the fuck is that? So, moving on now. Shredder and Kinsoon, they're fighting, and not only does Shredder reveal all this information about Avon, but apparently they had time to also examine the bomb schematics. Now, I might be wrong in this, but I really don't remember them knowing exactly what kind of a bomb it is, and so how do they know and in which way to defuse it? But then they go on to say that, it looks like she's found a way to stop the bomb from going off. And if you look at this, all she really does is just take, like, the little relic out of there and just pry it out, and that's it. I'm like, okay, that seems like not that big of a deal. Like, any one of the hostages could have done that when they found out where the bomb was. Like, you see the cords are clearly being yanked on to be disconnected. We don't even have, like, that stereotypical bomb, neutralizing scene where they're just like, I gotta cut that wire, and, where they're, like, profusely sweating and all this, that, and the other. No, she just yanks out the relic, and that's good enough. And I guess at first I read this as kind of, like, sarcastic, but the fact that Kinsoon's taken this a little bit more seriously, like, oh my god, I can't believe that they would do that. I'm like, what was so, like, secretive about that? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, yeah, she just fucking yanked on some shit and made it go away. Not a great scene there. I'm like, yeah, they're kind of making that seem like Avon is super duper intelligent. I'm like, yeah, she did some basic shit. That honestly, in most other bomb scenes in, like, other parts of media, this would have just gone off. There would have been, like, that counter to prevent something like that from happening, where it would just instantly detonate it, right? But yeah, so Kinsoon starts to lose this fight, and as Shredder's gaining the upper hand, he's like, I spent some time in Dimension X, and I got to see what it's like to be a god, and all I really see you guys as now is just a parasite that needs to be dealt with. And now Kinsoon makes one final plea. It's like, I just wanted to be your Kinsoon. And I'm like, you're nothing more than a parasite. And then gives her the old hack and slash. We then, afterwards, catch up with Colonel Knight as he's getting Agent Avon debriefed over here that her Kappa was detated. So, yeah, Kinsoon is gone, along with the Mourner. So, yeah. But there's some debriefing going on here, and we get a bit of clunky dialogue that I just don't quite understand how we're getting to this. So I'll just read it from Agent Avon, because what Colonel Knight says is, Shredder, she's lucky that Shredder didn't kill her. And he said, he never tried to hurt me, Colonel Knight. He has a code of honor, even when he pretends he doesn't. And then Colonel Knight goes on to say, Jesus, I know he was charismatic, but I thought you were smart enough not to take the bait, Agent Avon. And I'm just like, all she said is, he didn't try to hurt me. I don't understand the flip. It's just like that. I just don't feel like what she said needs that kind of retort, because it makes it seem like, oh, you're flipping on us. I'm like, no, that's not really what she said. It was just like, hey, Shredder didn't try to hurt me. He's living by a code of honor. And I don't like hear any disagreement with Agent Avon on what Knight is saying. Like, hey, you're lucky to be alive. And it's like, yeah, I think maybe I am lucky, which she is. And more on that later. But yeah, he's got a code of honor. He didn't try to hurt me. None of that. So, but yeah, he's like, oh, I got to report this to your bosses and stuff like that. And she argues that Shredder has done more to save the city than Darkwater, and basically the whole feud is ended here after Colonel Knight says, "Hey, remember what he is. He's just a butcher. He's a bloodthirsty madman, and the world is better off without him." So then we see that Agent Avon has the location of Shredder through a tracker that's in his armor. And what she is telling us in here is that they're planning on just destroying him using this tracker as soon as everything's done. My question is, why haven't they already? They don't think that they're going to see him again. The mission's accomplished, right? Mourner's dead. The bomb has been neutralized, so there's no more threat. Why are they not killing him right now? I mean, especially when they're saying that they're going to use drones in order to do it. Well, they got the guys with the controllers for the drones. Why are they not being shipped out? Why is it taking this long? Normally, you don't want somebody to. If you're already planning on getting rid of them, why would you keep them around for even this long? It's like mission accomplished, done. But yeah, Avon sees this. She slams the door in frustration. She goes over to the remaining parts of the bomb, which still has some live explosives within it, but has she's overheard that it should be relatively minor as far as explosive capabilities. Basically, just like a large firework is what we're getting out of it. So she decides that she's going to use it as a distraction. It's got a little bit more bite than just a firework, and she ends up blowing up part of the building. And then again, another weird panel. I don't understand this, but yeah, she makes her way out to Shredder, and she's explaining the situation of her leaving Darkwater, and how she's likely just become a mass murderer. And she's like, it's taken me so much to come out here. It's cost me everything. Can't you say something? And Shredder just says, you're sloppy with your killing. Most times you should be more deliberate in what you're doing. But we'll work on that. So she's going to be his protege. And he's like, you've seen what people are, that are nothing more than worthless worms. And he says, we'll save humanity from themselves, but in order to do that, we're going to need bodies. And that's where we end. So there are some things in this that I do like. I like that we're finally, like in issue 5 and then continuing on to here, we're seeing Shredder be Shredder. He's vicious, he's ruthless, and he will hack and slash. Like even Kitsune, right? We know that this is like the love of his life, but he's not fallen for this other version of Kitsune. He's just like, nope, you're not the Kitsune I knew. Bye-bye. And hack and slashes her. And I mean, in a brutal fashion. Like I said, he decapitates her. And this leads me to why I just cannot stand Agent Avon. This is Kitsune. This is the love of his life, right? Maybe just a slightly different version, but has the same memories, has the same feelings, all that. And has no problems just cutting her head right off. And we've seen Avon deliberately disobey whatever Shredder has said, has put missions in jeopardy. Luckily, it all worked out, but no consequences ever come to Avon. She gets kidnapped, but that was that was in service of her plan, right? And she is damn lucky that for whatever reason they decide they're not going to kill the people at Darkwater like they've done with everyone else. Like she should be dead, not only by Shredder but by the Mourner and her crew. Like Avon should die. But of course, like I called it a while back, the only reason she lives through all this shit because she played a pivotal role, right? In defeating the Mourner. Because what does she do? She disarms the bomb. So that's the whole reason she's able to do any of this. And I don't like Agent Avon because of that. Like, she is borderline, if not full-on Mary Sue. Like, I don't think that Shredder... I guess Shredder likes her in as much as he likes anybody. The people that he likes, he still is pretty cold towards. So I guess you could say he likes her. But her mistakes don't exist, really. There was that fight with the teleporting scientist. This is one of those moments where she just flat out disobeyed what Shredder said. She hits the area with an EMP, knocking out all electric stuff because she had a hunch that his stuff the scientist would not be affected, and so Shredder could have an easier time fighting him. Shredder told her no. It worked out in her favor anyway, and all on a hunch. Like, I don't like this character at all. And the series has done nothing to really make me like her. Like, she annoyed me less in the previous issue, and that's simply because she actually did something she was told to do. Like, it's very basic stuff. It's just like, Shredder's the lead on this one. You guys want him to take the lead on it, so follow his instructions. Why you're tagging along, like, why he accepts her to tag along, I don't know. I still have no idea why she was accepted in any of this. So, yeah, she's always been my biggest issue in this whole series. The Mourner, I wasn't huge on the way that she easily defeated Shredder. And that really is kind of a continuity error then with the fight later on, because now Shredder can hold his own. Now, I understand Shredder was dinged up in the first time that they met, but he had no problems fighting off all the foot mystics and stuff like that. No problem whatsoever. Just plowing right through all of them. You know, these are skilled fighters too. And the second he comes across the Mourner, she kicks his ass, no sweat. But I've never been a fan of, you know, you're basically tearing down legacy characters to build up new characters, okay? You can do something and make this more of a fight. Like, she handily, like, whooped his ass. Now, you could have had it to where there was a little bit more of a drawn-out fight, and because he was worn out from his injuries, he couldn't handle it. And that would make me understand that he would kick her ass when he's at full strength, like we see here. But he had no problem getting through anybody in issue 1 and is just kicking her ass now. Now, basically, because she became more of a non-entity, I'm just kind of meh towards her. I didn't really like how she was introduced, but she was just kind of there lurking in the shadows like, me, and then that's it. And then this is really about the biggest thing that we have. She's just kind of a character. I don't really care. But really, that's about it. Like I said, some of the things I didn't really care for either, but I just kind of feel meh towards, is like the weird paneling thing. Like, this is all one picture, but we just put a random square in there. This is all one picture, but we just split it for no reason. And that's just really bizarre. I don't care for that too much. Now, overall, I'd call this basically the same as issue 5. We're looking at somewhere between a 5 and a 6 out of 10, somewhere in that ballpark. It's better than the first 4 issues. It's nice to see Shredder be Shredder. I'm still not going to be a fan of Avon anytime soon from the looks of things. Now, there's still hope for her yet, but I just don't know how much longer this series is going to run, because I thought maybe this was going to be the end of it. But yeah, we see right at the end, there is another issue. So we got more Shredder coming. And I hope we're kind of moving upward in trajectory as far as how much better this writing gets. We'll see. So far, I have like a smidgen of hope, just a smidgen, that we can get somewhere. But yeah, this is not a series I would recommend at all. So definitely the mainline series, Journeys, and then Casey Jones. Those are like the top three for the current Ninja Turtle run that I would recommend at this point, but not this one. But that is all I have for today, guys. So until next time, take care and God bless.